What up, peeps? How's it going? Good morning, good evening, and good night whenever you're watching this. So I decided to share, I guess, a story of success, which I don't normally like to share because everybody wants to see you fail. However, just recently came back from my trip to Cuba, and I passed the test. Went there, not one drop of alcohol. Everybody thought I was crazy. All the Cubans thought, no cerveza, no nada, sin alcohol, sí, claro, yeah. Passed the test. 18 days without a drop of booze. 8 months total now. The reason why I'm sharing this is, well, it might help someone out there that might be struggling with a little bit of substance abuse. I'll explain. So being a DJ in this lovely life of mine for most of my life, you know, you tend to realize you get a lot of testing involved when it comes to substances and alcohol and drogas and all that stuff. And it comes to a point in your life where you're like, okay, you know what? I want to take this seriously. And, you know, you got to learn to moderate your substance intake because it gets very easy to get sucked into that hole. You know, as a DJ, you know, you're the life of the party, and, you know, you got to learn to balance, kind of be on the crowd's level and all that jazz. But, you know, that shit can take over quite some time. Not to say that, you know, all DJs, all entertainers have this problem. But, yeah, man, it just becomes excessive, and sometimes it gets to a point in your life where you're like, okay, it's time to slow it down a little bit. So here's what you should try to do, or what I did. Number one, take a step back and realize, is alcohol or any substances doing anything to better your life? Because from what I've learned when it comes to alcohol, for that matter, is it's supposed to be used as a celebratory factor, right? You know, like birthdays, going out and partying and all that jazz. But that stuff can actually take over your shit and, you know, become worse. Because when it comes to alcohol and any substances for that matter, it does tend to be a mask for any problems that's going on in this dark, cold ass world that we got going on. However, if you moderate it correctly and you use it to a benefit of celebratory factors like weddings or festivals or birthdays for that matter, that's okay. But when it becomes a masking issue, then it becomes a problem. So now I can honestly say I am blessed and lucky to be one of the ones that didn't have to go through rehab or group therapy or any of that stuff, although I was close. And I just decided, okay, you know what? It's time to clean up my liver just in case I have to sell it to survive. Ironic enough, because it's expensive. But one of the biggest things that you should try to do is test yourself. So for me, let's say I'm 8 months clean, no drinking, no nothing. For myself, the biggest test is to see if the drink has control over you. So I decided, all right, if I go to Cuba and I don't drink one drop of alcohol, that's the truest test. Did it, accomplished it, success, boom. Now, not to say I'm never going to drink again, but I'm learning to moderate it. Now, the reason why I decide to drink certain types of drinks, I'll explain. So one of the things that help when you're coming off this party thing and all that stuff, zero beer. Heineken Zero is one of my favorites. Guinness Zero is one of my great favorites. Pina coladas, sin alcohol, no alcohol. Virgin Caesars, they work. Why? Placebo factors. Let's say you used to go to the bar, you want to go and have fun, this and that. You can still drink. And also, you don't have to explain yourself to everybody around you why you decided to not drink. Why? Because people are sensitive. People will think, oh, well, now I have a problem. Or, no. Well, you can still enjoy yourself and be undercover and not have to explain why or whatnot, and still be in that environment and enjoy, because you really don't need alcohol. Alcohol is an enhancement, but it's also a depressant. So those are little tricks that I've done to enjoy myself and not have to explain shit, which is great. And I'm still having fun. So again, what's the reason why I'm explaining this is it might help people get into, that vibe or whatever, that I need to kind of slow down and take a glimpse into their life and clear their mind and soul and body and all that jazz. And I normally don't like to, post, hey, 8 months clean, sober, and all that stuff, because, you don't need to seek validation from anybody but yourself. But the reason why I am posting this is there might be people wondering, hey, how do you do it? How do I moderate? And how do I, get out of that black hole of masking anything? And, well, once you've become content with yourself and your life and you start realizing that sobriety is actually fun, and that, you moderate your substances, it becomes helpful. So that's it. Hope that helps someone. I know I had fun. Pass this test. SUCCESS. That's the way you spell success. Okay, so yeah, last point of way to try to get over shit. If you really want to go to a proper rehab, for that matter, you can do like I did. I spent 3 months in Cuba. If you got a cocaine problem or any of those drug problems, you go to Cuba. You got a marijuana problem, you go to Cuba. Now, if you got a drinking problem, but you want to test yourself, you go to Cuba. It's communistic. They don't have that shit down there. And if they do, very rare, good luck. But, yeah, man, that is the cheapest form and best form of rehabilitation that you can go through, rather than coming down here and doing the whole process and all that shit. You get to enjoy the sun, you get the beach, you get people around you, But yeah, if you got a drug problem, I suggest you go to Cuba. I still smoke, so one thing at a time, man. One thing at a time. Enjoy your day.